You look like a Super Bowl commercial.
Eat more Tapatio. Sponsor me. You're welcome, Tapatio.
The man sounded like Godzilla.
It's really hot in here.
And air conditioning will have to happen very quickly.
Alright, fellers, I don't know how well you can see me, but this is the manual ECU for Blueberry. This came out of the donor car, and hopefully this is going to fix our high idle issue because it's really annoying.
Sorry, it was a dead spider.
It's a dead spider, okay. So, I also have the key that goes with it. To my knowledge, the master key is what they call them, should have the L in the back, and it doesn't. But I don't think mine does either for Blueberry. Oh no, that one does. Oh. So I have no idea if this one's gonna work, so we'll find out. But first, I didn't bring any tools, and the only thing I have is this impact.
You're gonna get jammed on there and you never get it off? My name's Jason and I'm too cool just to use a wrench.
This is the first power tool I've owned, and it was a gift, and I'm super happy because I was about to buy one, and you're watching, you know who you are.
If he wasn't my brother-in-law, I'd be a little jealous.
God, my fingers. And it's supposed to come back up.
You message me when you get in that house.
Okay,
I mean it.
will do.
Yeah. This is the difference between the automatic, which has rating in it, and the manual says MT for mountain time.
Manual transmission.
Mountain time is the best time.
Mountain time's not real.
And we just put this guy in. Let's plug everything back in.
Sounds like a good plan.
And, you know, stuff that you go over there. Yep, you go over there. So it's pretty much Jason-proof.
Now that you've said that, we're gonna break it.
Now that I said that, I'm gonna have to take it off because the key's not gonna work, but...
At least it's pretty quickly done. It didn't take too long.
Yeah. Ooh, this is a bad move. Just a little flick of the finger so you don't snap these.
I really hope that the camera picked up that lady yelling at her kids. You better text me when you get in that house. I mean it.
Okay, so important thing. Old key, new key. We can take the guts out of this one and put them into this one.
You need to plug the battery in?
Yes, but I need a screwdriver.
Or we could just leave everything and just shut the door.
Oh, this in the garage?
Bye, Blueberry.
I have this little guy. So,
You're gonna use Izzy as a table?
well, so this is the guts, the immobilizer. So that's what makes the car turn on. And we have the original automatic key. Crusty.
Which is okay.
Oh, look at that, they're a little different. Or is that just a cover? Yeah, it's just a cover. Okay, fellers.
And ladies, maybe. Michael might be watching.
So, this guy on the forum said if I just replace what I replaced, this should work. So technically the car should start with the manual ECU. Let's turn it off for now. So he was right. Flickery light. So now we have the car, I guess, turning on with the manual ECU, which is the hard thing if you don't have the original key, which is the immobilizer, I guess, the guts of the key. So now all we have to do is program the new guts to work with this thing. The old key fob works, this one doesn't, so we just have to program it. To do that, I have to reference a YouTube video because that's what we do around here.
I did.
So I found this video and we're gonna program the key fob onto the car. Apparently you start with all the doors unlocked and I guess all the doors closed, driver's side open. Put this in, take this out, cycle it 5 times. So 4, 5. Put the key in. I did it wrong. It didn't work.
I'm gonna sit inside here to do this. I'll just leave the door shut.
To program this remote, we're gonna first start with all the doors closed, then open the driver's door.
Okay, so I've encountered this problem before. Key in, and then we use the key to cycle it. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Close the door, and we're just gonna press this. Open it. 1. I don't think I held it long enough.
I think it's 1.5 seconds.
Yeah. So I got to go into security mode, so that's cool. Right?
Round 2. Getting out of here because it's hot.
2, 3. It worked. I don't know what happened, but the car started beeping, beep, and now this key. I didn't close it right, but this is the manual key fob, and this is the original.
Ooh.
Ta-da!
There's a truck that's decided he's gonna just drive over the grass here.
Now I'm just gonna fix my key fob.
Jackass in the truck.
What?
Nothing. Some bonus footage of him coming back to get me.
Ever since this car has been manual swap, the idle has been high enough where you don't need to use the gas at all from a stop. And right there, I just, you know, went off with the clutch like I normally do, and it was stuttering. So I'm just waiting for the car to heat up completely before we make an assumption if it works or not. So we shall find out in a second. That made sense.
Sure. Of course, the idling high and the stuff and assuming.
Let's take a shortcut.
A shortcut, ooh. We're going to Burger King.
Yes.
Ooh.
We're going to the weird Facebook Marketplace gas station.
Oh, the Fast Market logo. Another guess. Like $1.89 in Georgia.
It's a Facebook gas station.
Suck it, rest of the country. Pay your $3 in gas. Was it the West Coast?
West Coast typically pays a little higher because California.
Yeah.
But you know, great places like Idaho, they their gases are a lot better. So we're idling a little bit lower, but not as low as I want it to be. That's really weird.
We're gonna have an awkward moment where the people in the car in front of us are just facing us off.
This is true. Oh, no AC. And then obviously with the AC, the RPMs go up a little bit. Let me get the code reader real quick.
Okay.
Kirby. So it does feel lower, but I can't remember where it was idling last. Or maybe I just want it to believe that the RPM is lower.
I mean, it sounds like it's like revving or like idling
Quieter.
lower, yeah.
It does feel like I can notice it when I'm driving, or maybe the manual ECU is just playing tricks on me, because it's idling kind of high right now still.
What's it sitting at right now?
1100?
I think it was like 13 before.
Yeah. So the only code right now is the O2 sensor heater circuit bank 1, sensor 1. See it when we get out of the start.
Let's talk about this for a minute. These butthole people that don't put their carts away, or their buggies.
They're carts.
They don't put their buggies away.
They're carts.
They're what?
Carts.
They're what?
Carts. Nobody likes being that close to
They're
me.
buggies?
Carts. And just like that, it is actually a week later since the last clip you saw. So I've been driving this car around. I really haven't been recording, haven't really been doing any car things, but I've been driving the car around, and with the new manual ECU, it actually idles about 100 to 200 RPMs lower. So before it used to idle around 1200 RPM, maybe 1100. So now it's at a constant 1000 RPM, which is still a little bit high. The other day I was sitting in the drive-thru and it actually dropped to about 900 RPM for like 30 seconds, then it went back up to 1000. Yeah, it was a big difference between 900 and 1000. The manual ECU did drop the RPMs a little bit. That makes me believe I have vacuum leaks with this thing. So it's soaking in a little bit more air, brings up the idle, adds fuel. So I'm not gonna lie, I hate this setup. I hate the crossover intake. What I'm gonna be doing is replacing my MAF. It's never a good idea to just throw parts onto the car, just hoping it would fix it. Considering I have a spare, I'm just gonna put that in there, see if it changes the idle at all. It's not having any idling issues aside from idling too high. It's not rough. Sometimes, once in a blue moon, I get a little hesitation when I'm accelerating, but I do have a spare MAF. I'm gonna change that to see if anything changes. But yeah, the idle problem's still hit and miss. It's better, but it's not completely solved. Daniela has all my tools in her car and she's not here right now, so I was lucky enough to find a screwdriver, which is what you need to change your MAF, so pretty easy. Okay, so this is the MAF that was in the car, and this is the spare one that I have laying around. This one was a little dusty, the one that was in the car, and it's kind of hard to tell, but you can see by the reflection of the sensor, this one is a little shinier than that one, so that one's covered with dust a little bit. I don't have any MAF cleaner, and I don't want to clean it with brake cleaner because I guess that ruins it. So I'm just gonna dust this one off real quick, super lightly. I'm gonna put it back in the car and see if that changes everything. But I know this one is working. I'm just seeing if that fixes the issue, maybe because it's dirty, but I don't have any actual MAF cleaner on me. So I think switching it would be a little experiment since I have the spare part anyway, and it's took 2 seconds to take off. But I'm just gonna put that in. And there's actually an O-ring that keeps it sealed, so inspect your O-ring because you might be having a leak through there. But yeah, and just screwed on by the 2 screws there, and that's it. So hopefully that fixes the issue. So yeah, the filter is actually pretty clean, so I don't think that has anything to do with it, but just worth checking since I was here. That pretty much required no tools for me to check, so pretty easy. That's another reason why I haven't really been filming videos, because it's so hot in here. I hate complaining about the heat. We finally got this garage here, which is nice, so I'm not working on the car in the parking lot in the apartment complex, but it's awesome. But it's like 100 degrees in here, and just changing a MAF and checking the filter, like I'm completely soaked in sweat, by the way, which is gross. But this is a tour of the garage. So I have the IS300 all the way back to just about as back as I can go. And I have some company here, apparently, so that's good news. I'm not even gonna mess with that. You can see the damages on the wall, and they're all from the previous runners, but I got a table and a shelf here, so hopefully that will make this a little more organized. That's for the FRS, that's the Rocket Bunny kit, the over fenders and the front bumper, Danielle's bumper, which I'm trying to sell at some random thing. So hopefully, so with the shelf and the table and everything in the other closet, it's gonna start feeling a little better. So we're gonna do a time lapse and try to organize this a little bit. Not much, but just put that together and put the table here somewhere, so. And And there we go. Now we have a table and a shelf. I do have another shelf in the closet garage that I was using, so I'm gonna bring that over here and all the other stuff that's in there. But it feels roomier, but also less roomier because there's less room, but I got a surface to work on, so that's kind of neat. But I'm gonna end the video here. I think it was all over the place. Probably just gonna keep organizing this, making this a little more usable because I still have Danielle's charger bumper that I've been trying to sell, and people have been really spotty about that. Yeah, it's a one-car garage, and I don't really have much room for anything else. Probably gonna start stacking things, being creative. Hoping that math was the problem to my high idle. I don't think so. I really do think I just have a vacuum leak somewhere, and because the idle did go down by a little bit, but that's enough to make me a little bit happier. I can't put into words how much I dislike that throttle body design. I wish it was just forward facing and clean. I'm just gonna get out of here before I complain for another 10 minutes. Bye.
She said that she wants to take it back, but then she goes and takes it all, telling me to pick up the slack. It's like I'm talking to a wall. All your opinions are a fact, there's only truth in your recalling all your lies.